Hi, grade 10s. I'm Kaylen April, and today we will be looking at William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. We will be looking at some Old English vocabulary building. So, for all those difficult vocabulary, Old English vocabulary words that you don't understand, don't worry, I've got you covered. I hope you are keeping safe during these tough times. Practice social distancing, sanitize, and enjoy this video. As we know, Shakespeare has his way with words, so reading Romeo and Juliet can be quite challenging as it is written in Old English. This lesson aims to ease some of the Old English vocabulary in the play. We will be deciphering some of Shakespeare's vocabulary usage, and we will do this by looking at some important quotes by Shakespeare, as well as translating some of the extracts from the play into modern English. At this point, we have already worked through the play Romeo and Juliet, and we have read it in its entirety. Let's look at what we will be covering for this lesson. 1. We will recap on the entire play of Romeo and Juliet by watching a YouTube video by Core Zero. Number 2. We will complete a recap quiz on the summary of the play. Number 3, we will be discussing some important Old English quotes from the play. 3.1 will be Old English quotes by Romeo. And then 3.2, we will be looking at Old English quotes by Juliet. Number 4, we will study, translate, and compare Old English vocabulary alongside modern English vocabulary from the play by taking a closer look at 4.1, the prologue in the beginning of the play, and 4.2, an extract from Act 3, Scene 1. This lesson will incorporate some aspects of technology, so you will need digital devices such as a laptop or a tablet or a cell phone. You will also need a stable Wi-Fi connection or internet connection. You will also need access to Word to create a Word document. You will also need access to email, whether it is that you have a Gmail or Yahoo account, and we will also need Zoom for our live interactions. Number 1, let's recap on the entire play.
Romeo and Juliet opens with a prologue introducing the setting, backstory, and plot of the play. The setting is Verona, Italy. The backstory is that two rival families, the Montagues and Capulets, have been the cause of recent violence in Verona. The plot is that two children of the families, Romeo and Juliet, will fall in love, but by the play's end will commit suicide. Action begins with the servants from the households exchanging insults and fighting in the streets. The lords of the households arrive and pull out their swords to fight. Just then, the prince arrives and declares their feud illegal. We are introduced to Romeo Montague, who is lamenting his unrequited love for Rosaline. His friend Benvolio tells Romeo they'll find another girl for him. Meanwhile, Juliet learns that she has a suitor, the young Count Paris. The Capulets are hosting a masquerade ball where Paris and Juliet can meet. Romeo, Benvolio, and Mercutio sneak into the ball, and Romeo falls in love with Juliet. Juliet's cousin Tybalt finds out Romeo is there and wants to fight him, but Lord Capulet tells him no. Romeo and Juliet flirt and kiss. After the party, Romeo sneaks into the Capulet orchard, where he and Juliet declare their love. They decide to get married, and the next morning, Friar Lawrence secretly marries them. Later that day, Tybalt challenges Romeo to a duel, but he refuses. Mercutio defends Romeo's honor and is killed by Tybalt. In the climax, Romeo kills Tybalt. The prince enters and banishes Romeo from Verona. Before leaving Verona, Romeo and Juliet consummate their marriage. The next morning, Romeo leaves for Mantua. Lord Capulet enters Juliet's room to tell her she is marrying Paris. She rejects his command and he threatens to disown her. In the falling action, she goes to Friar Lawrence, who devises a plan for her to take a potion that will make her seem dead. And when she wakes, her and Romeo can run off together. She returns home and fakes obedience to her father. She drinks the poison, and the family and Paris find her seemingly dead. Romeo hears news of Juliet's death before receiving the friar's letter describing the plan to him. He comes to her tomb, and Paris confronts him. Romeo kills Paris. Romeo finds Juliet seemingly dead and kills himself with poison. Juliet wakes up, finds Romeo dead, and stabs herself with his dagger. During the resolution, the heartbroken families find the dead youths and decide to end their feud.
Number 2. It is now time for a recap quiz. This is just a friendly quiz, so no need to panic. What you are required to do for this recap quiz is to open a Word document, then on the top of the document write in your details and the title of the play. Next, complete the following recap quiz on the document. Remember to number the document from question 1 to 15. Then email me your answers to u163-13926 at tux.co.za and enjoy the quiz. Are you ready for the quiz? Here is your recap quiz. Where in Italy does the play Romeo and Juliet take place? That was your first question. Your second question, who are the two rival families in the play? Your third question, in the beginning of the play, Romeo laments his unrequited love for, so in the blank space you will have to fill in somebody's name. Question 4, besides Romeo, who else is Juliet's suitor? Question 5, who sneaks into the Capulets' feast or masquerade? Question 6, who challenges Romeo to a duel? Question 7, who kills Mercutio? Question 8, who kills Tybalt? Are the following statements true or false? Question 9, Romeo is banished from Verona. Question 10, Romeo devises a plan for Juliet to take a potion that will make her seem dead. Question 11, Paris kills Romeo. Question 12, Romeo kills himself with poison. Question 13, Juliet wakes to find Romeo dead. Question 14, Juliet stabs herself with Romeo's dagger. And question 15, the Montagues and Capulets decide to end their feud. Me a Word document via email, and these are her answers. Let's go through your answers. The first answer was Verona, and that is correct. The second answer was Montagues and Capulets. You're correct. Number 3 was Rosaline. Number 4 was Paris. Unfortunately, you got number 5 incorrect. The correct answer was Romeo, Montague, and Benvolio. So that one is wrong. Then number 6 is Tybalt.
Number 7 is correct, also Tybalt. And number 8, Romeo. Let's look at the true and false answers. Number 9 was correct, true. And number 10 was incorrect because that was false. It was not Romeo who devised the plan, it was Friar Lawrence. The next answer, number 11, was correct. Number 12 is correct. Number 13 is correct. Number 14 was true and it's also correct. And number 15 is true. So in total, you got a mark of 13 out of 15. Well done. This shows that you have a very good understanding of the play, so you do know what's happening in the play. We're on track now. Let's continue.
Number 3. Let's look at some important Old English quotes from the play Romeo and Juliet. 3.1. Let's start with the Old English quotes by Romeo. Let's look at the following quote by Romeo from Act 1, Scene 5. Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night, like a rich jewel in an Ethiopia's ear, beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady over her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed by rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night. That was quite difficult to understand, as it was written in Old English. Let's look at the meaning of that quote. This quote captures Romeo's first impression of Juliet at the masquerade ball. He says that Juliet is so beautiful that she makes the torches in the hall appear dim, as she is the one who teaches the torches to burn bright. He compares her beauty to a dazzling jewel or earring in an Ethiopian's ear. She stands out from the rest of the girls like the way a snowy dove would stand out from crows. Romeo is in awe of Juliet. He says he cannot believe how beautiful she is. Her beauty is unreal, as such beauty could not be possible. Let's look at another quote by Romeo from Act 2, Scene 2. He says, with love's light wings did I overpurge these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. This quote is a response from Romeo to Juliet. Juliet asked Romeo how he managed to reach her bedroom, and his response to her was that the stony limits, which refers to the walls, cannot keep him from her. He says that love is freedom in the same way that wings evoke flight and freedom. The walls cannot hold love out. He is also implying that the limitation on their relationship due to the rivaling families cannot hold love out. For 3.2, let's look at the Old English quotes by Juliet. This is an Old English quote by Juliet from Act 1, Scene 2. She says, O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Many learners think that she is saying, O Romeo, Romeo, where are you, Romeo? But what she's actually saying is, "Oh, Romeo, Romeo, why are you Romeo?" She is not asking where he is, but instead she is asking why he is who he is. She is distraught when she learns that Romeo is a Montague, her family's sworn enemy. This is another quote by Juliet from Act 2, Scene 2. She says, "My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite." That was the Old English version of what she said, but let's see what she's actually trying to say in this quote. So she compares her love with the sea, and she says that her love for Romeo is as infinite as the sea water, and that she can give her love to Romeo forever, only having more of it to share. Now for number 4, let's compare Old English alongside modern English vocabulary side by side. For 4.1, we will be looking at the prologue in the beginning of the play. We will be studying the Old English version alongside the modern English version. Translating the prologue. So on the left-hand side of the slide, we've got the Old English version of the prologue, and on the right-hand side, we've got the modern text of the same prologue. So the right-hand side will be more understandable. A prologue is a separate introduction section that you will encounter before the actual play begins. Let's compare the old text or the original text to the modern text. So, two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona. That word fair means beautiful, because what they are saying is, in the beautiful city of Verona, in the fair Verona, where we lay our scene. In this case, scene means where our story takes place. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. So what that means is that a long-standing hatred between two families erupt into new violence. So the word mutiny means violence. Where civil blood makes civil hands unclean means that the citizens stain their hands with the blood of their fellow citizens. So fights erupt in the beautiful city of Verona. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. The word star-crossed means unlucky people or unlucky children, or star-crossed lovers means bad luck lovers. Two unlucky children of these enemy families become lovers and commit suicide, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows doth at death bury their parents' strife. This means that their unfortunate deaths put an end to their parents' feud. So now, the fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. So what is being said is that for the next 2 hours, we will watch the story of their doomed love and their parents' anger, which nothing but the children's death could stop. To which, if you with patient ears attend, Patient ears refers to listening carefully or listening to us patiently. If you listen to us patiently, he promises that what ye shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. We'll make up for everything we've left out in this prologue on stage. So 4.2, we will be looking at an extract from Act 3, Scene 1. We will compare the text side by side again, with the left-hand side being the old original text and the right-hand side being the modern translation. Let's take a closer look at this extract. We have an interaction between Tybalt and Romeo. So on the left-hand side, we've got the original text, and on the right-hand side, we've got the modern translation. So Tybalt says, Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain. So what he's saying is, you are a villain. The modern version of that would be, Romeo, there's only one thing I can call you. You're a villain. And Romeo says, Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage. To such a greeting, villain am I none. Therefore farewell, I see thou knowest me not. So what we have here is Tybalt calling Romeo a villain. But Romeo says that he has a reason to love Tybalt that lets him put aside the rage he should feel and excuse that insult. He says that he is no villain, so goodbye. I can tell you that you do not know who I am. Next, Tybalt says, Boy, thou shalt not excuse the injury that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw. So Tybalt is saying, Boy, your words can't excuse the harm you've done to me. So now turn and draw your sword. He is challenging Romeo to a duel. Let's continue with the extract. Romeo says, I do protest. This means, I disagree. I never injured thee. The word thee means you. So what he's saying is, I've never done you harm, but love thee better than thou canst devise. So the word thou means you. So he's saying, I love you more than you can understand, until you know the reason why I love you. Till you shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender, as dearly as my own, be satisfied. So what he's saying is, and so, good Capulet, which is a name I love like my own name, you should be satisfied with what I say. So the reason why he loves Tybalt is because Tybalt is a Capulet and he is related to Juliet. He is Juliet's cousin. So he is trying to maintain peace with the Capulets because he is in love with Juliet. Next we have Mercutio saying, O calm, dishonorable, vile submission. So Mercutio is upset that Romeo is submitting to Tybalt. This calm submission is dishonorable and vile. He says, Aristocrata carries it away. The thrust of a sword will end this surrender. So Tybalt draws his sword. So he is now challenging Tybalt to a fight. It was Mercutio who draws his sword. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk? Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you fight me? So now we've got Mercutio challenging Tybalt to a duel. Let's continue with the extract. So Tybalt says, "What wouldst thou have with me?" What he's saying is, "What do you want from me?" And Mercutio says, "Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. That I mean to make bold withal, and as you shall use me hereafter, dry beat the rest of the 8. So what Mercutio is saying is, "Good king of cats, I want to take one of your 9 lives." So he calls Tybalt a cat, and he says he wants to take one of Tybalt's 9 lives. "I'll take one," and he says, "depending on how you treat me after that, I might beat the other 8 out of you too." So basically, Mercutio is saying that he wants to kill Tybalt. Let's continue translating and comparing the text. "Will you pluck your sword out of his pulcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out." So when he says make haste, he means hurry up. He says pull your sword out of its sheath. The sheath is the tight-fitting covering around the sword. "Or I'll smack you on the ears with my sword before you have yours drawn." Tybalt says, "I am for you," and he draws his sword. So he's saying, "I'll fight you." So Tybalt accepts Mercutio's challenge or his duel. Next, Romeo says, "Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up." And Romeo is actually saying, "Please don't fight." He's encouraging Mercutio not to fight. "Noble Mercutio, put your sword away." And Mercutio says, "Come, sir, your passado." So Mercutio says to Tybalt, "Come on, sir, perform your forward thrust, your passado." He's saying, get ready to fight. So Mercutio and Tybalt fight. Let's go over some Old English vocabulary dictionary meanings. So here we've got our own little dictionary of Old English words. These are some of the words that we've learned when we went through the important quotes and also when we went through the extract translations and when we were comparing the extracts. These words generally just connect the larger sentences, so it will make reading a text or reading the extract much easier. So the first word, doth, that means do. O'er, that means over. Never or ne'er means never. Wherefore means why. Art means are. Thou means you, and thee also means you. Fair means beautiful. Star-crossed means unlucky, doomed, or bad luck. Hast means have. Canst means can. Make haste means hurry up. Hopefully these will enable you to connect the sentences much easier and make reading Old English a bliss.
Hi, Bernice. I've got a quick question for you, and let's work on it together. So, I've got with me a question, a quote from Romeo and Juliet, and I want us to work on it together. So, this is a quote from Act 2, Scene 2, where Juliet says, good night, parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night till it be morrow." Let's see if we can work on the meaning of the quote together. So firstly, let's figure out what words we actually do understand. So Bernice, what would you say does the word parting mean?
I'd say leaving each other.
Yes. So they're saying that leaving each other is such sweet sorrow, but that doesn't really make sense because sweet and sorrow are opposite words. They've got opposite meanings. So they are saying that it is a sorrowful departure, a sorrowful departing, but they've got some hope in their heart when they say that I shall say good night till it be morrow. What do you think the word morrow means?
Tomorrow.
Very well done. But it also means the following day, so the next day. So they are saying, good night, parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. So they are hopeful that they can see each other the following day.
So they don't want to say goodnight. Does it mean that?
Yes, it does mean that, but they are content with saying good night because they are hopeful that they will see each other the following day.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So in conclusion, for this lesson, what we have done was we revised on the summary of the play just to ensure that everyone was on track. We also expanded and improved our Old English vocabulary by studying some Old English quotes from the play. We studied the Old English quotes from Juliet as well as from Romeo. And then we expanded and improved our Old English vocabulary by comparing and translating the original English, Old English extracts to modern English side by side. So we learned new words overall, and hopefully that has expanded our vocabulary in Old English.